The Toronto Raptors earned a hard-fought 110-105 victory over the Minnesota Timberwolves on Thursday night, marking their first back-to-back wins of the season. This win was significant not only for Toronto's momentum but also for extending a remarkable streak. The Raptors have now won 20 consecutive games against the Timberwolves at home, a stretch dating back to January 21, 2004. The Timberwolves, despite some strong individual performances, were unable to break their lengthy losing streak in Toronto, which has now lasted 2 decades. The Raptors' win was driven by several key performances, led by R.J. Barrett's explosive 31-point game. Barrett's scoring was crucial at every stage of the game, as he provided the offense the team needed, particularly during critical moments in the second half. His energy and scoring ability were felt throughout, whether he was creating his own shot or contributing in transition. Barrett's ability to score from multiple areas on the floor, including mid-range jumpers, three-pointers, and at the rim, kept the Timberwolves' defense on edge, especially when the game was on the line. In addition to Barrett's dominant play, Scottie Barnes made a triumphant return to the lineup after missing 11 games due to a right orbital fracture. Barnes, who wore protective glasses to shield his injured eye, had an immediate impact, contributing 17 points, 6 assists, and a solid all-around performance in 27 minutes. Despite the time missed, Barnes demonstrated his versatility and playmaking skills, showing that the Raptors' offense could run more fluidly with him back in action. His performance, including key baskets and assists down the stretch, was a pivotal factor in the win, especially as Toronto fought through a tough second half and a brief deficit in the final quarter. Boucher, coming off the bench, was another critical contributor, adding 22 points. His energy and shooting were instrumental in keeping the Raptors' offense flowing and maintaining pressure on the Timberwolves. Boucher's ability to hit timely three-pointers, as well as contribute in transition, gave the Raptors a significant boost off the bench. Meanwhile, Jakob Poeltl continued his excellent form, finishing with 15 points and 12 rebounds. This marked his 4th consecutive double-double, a streak that highlights his importance to Toronto's success on both ends of the court. Poeltl's work in the paint, particularly his rebounding and rim protection, helped the Raptors stay competitive throughout, especially in a game where Minnesota had several chances to seize control. For the Timberwolves, Anthony Edwards led the way with 26 points, 21 of which came in the second half. Edwards' first-half struggles, shooting just 2 for 5, were in stark contrast to his explosive performance in the second half, where he hit 7 of 15 attempts from the floor. Edwards was the Timberwolves' primary offensive weapon down the stretch, driving the ball and scoring efficiently to help his team stay in the game. However, while Edwards' scoring surge kept Minnesota within striking distance, it wasn't enough to lift them over the hump in the final minutes. Julius Randle also played a key role in the Timberwolves' offense, adding 23 points. His ability to score in a variety of ways, whether through mid-range shots, post-ups, or free throws, kept Toronto's defense on its toes. Randle's contribution was valuable, but like Edwards, his scoring wasn't enough to overcome the Raptors' balanced attack in the final stretch of the game. Jaden McDaniels was another important figure for Minnesota, contributing 22 points. McDaniels' ability to hit timely shots, particularly when Edwards and Randle were drawing attention, kept the Timberwolves within range. Rudy Gobert, known for his defensive prowess and rebounding, provided a double-double with 13 points and 11 rebounds. His size and ability to dominate the paint helped Minnesota stay competitive on the boards, but despite his presence, the Timberwolves struggled to contain Toronto's offense, particularly in key moments during the final minutes. The game was tightly contested throughout, but a pivotal moment came late in the fourth quarter, with the Timberwolves holding a 95-92 lead. That's when the Raptors made their decisive push, using a 13-1 run to surge ahead and never look back. Barnes was the catalyst during this critical stretch, scoring 6 points and helping the Raptors regain control. His timely plays, including an assist to Barrett for an alley-oop dunk, were the exclamation points that sealed the win. This late-game surge highlighted Toronto's depth and ability to execute when it mattered most. The Raptors' defense also stepped up during this stretch, forcing Minnesota into tough shots and limiting their scoring opportunities. Another key factor in Toronto's success was their free throw shooting. After struggling in the first half, where they only made 5 of 9 attempts, the Raptors found their rhythm at the line in the second half, converting 24 of 30 attempts. This marked a significant shift, as their ability to capitalize on these opportunities helped them maintain the lead down the stretch, particularly in a close game where every possession counted. Despite the Timberwolves' best efforts, they were unable to break their historic losing streak in Toronto. Minnesota's last victory in the city came back in 2004, when players like Sam Cassell, Kevin Garnett, and Latrell Sprewell led the team. Even when the Timberwolves managed to steal a win against Toronto in February 2021, the Raptors were playing their home games in Tampa due to COVID-19 restrictions, which made it a unique situation. Minnesota's road woes in Toronto continue to be a major storyline for the team as they search for ways to overcome this hurdle. Looking ahead, the Timberwolves will travel to Boston for a challenging matchup with the Celtics on Sunday, hoping to bounce back from this tough loss. Meanwhile, the Raptors will embark on a 4-game road trip starting with a game against the Cleveland Cavaliers on Sunday. This win gives Toronto a positive momentum boost as they head out on the road, with Barrett leading the offense, Barnes back in the fold, and Poeltl continuing to anchor the defense. With their next few games on the horizon, Toronto will look to build on this victory and continue improving as they seek consistency through the early stages of the season.